Plaintiff Renaud Giles says the defendant is his uncle, but he's known for getting drunk and then getting naked. Renaud claims he loaned his motorcycle to the defendant so he could take his lady friend home. But the bike got stolen while under his care, so he's suing. Defendant Harold McDonald says he thought he was a role model in Renaud's life because he showed him how to be a hard worker. Harold claims Renaud was on the right track until he joined a motorcycle gang and his personality changed. Harold admits Renaud's motorcycle was stolen while under his care, but he insists it was not his fault.
Tell me what happened.
Well, Harold is my uncle. We're 6 years apart, so he's more like my brother. He was my best man at my wedding, taught me how to ride my bike, and I'm the godfather to his child. That's what's disappointing, that we got to be here today. But Harold is like two different people, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Naked. Mr. Naked is his alter ego. Oh. I'm gonna tell you a story. I was about 13 or 14. He was staying with my aunt. My cousins just moved back from Arkansas. So we were all there. He comes in late night, we're asleep. He's drunk and he's butt naked.
I object. You know. Maybe in the bedroom with my lady, but not that.
Was this woman in there with it?
I don't know who. He was in the room. He came in the room with us. We were asleep. Oh. Me, my two cousins, and my stepbrother.
And stood over you.
And stood over and had a conversation with us, like.
Nah, I object. You know.
Like, you know, it was regular, but you know. Furthermore, let's get to the
totally ridiculous
to the incident. I think that's why my motorcycle came up missing.
You want to give us some background on your relationship and whether you have two personalities?
Absolutely, Your Honor. I thought I was a role model in his life. I got married at a young age, purchased a home, and he pretty much did the same thing. I got into fast cars, got into motorcycles and things like that, and he kind of followed that pattern also.
Did he grow up with a father in the household? Did you?
Stepfather.
How about you?
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Did you get along with your stepdad?
After the divorce.
Seems like, from what I'm hearing from you, that as a role model, taking your nephew under your wing, you helped him become successful. And that's very helpful, particularly when a young man doesn't have a father figure in his life, a cousin, a relative, a friend, takes him under his wings and mentors him in a positive way to show him what real manhood is about. So I congratulate you, and your dad did a good job with you, obviously. So thanks. I congratulate you helping a guy who didn't quite have the type of father he felt would help him. So the overwhelming majority of the young men who don't have fathers, they have some contact with the criminal justice system.
It's like, you know, he's always been a responsible guy. You know, he's a deacon at a church, you know, did a lot of positive stuff. And, you know, he got into the bikes and he got into this bike gang, or bike club, I should sort of say. And his character changed a little bit. He became just a little bit more aggressive, not too reasonable about things as he used to be.
All right, he's suing you about a motorcycle, so tell me about it.
May 31st of 2008, we had a fish fry for my cousin. Harold was there. My bike club was there, family, and one of Harold's lady friends also came. We did the regular, played bingo, all the stuff that family does. When the party was over, he wanted to go ride my motorcycle. His lady friend that came had her motorcycle. At first, I was like, nah, he ain't riding with her because she ain't look too hot.
Now, what's that have to do with riding the motorcycle?
I didn't want no, you know, we kind of similar. I didn't want nobody thinking, you know, that was me with her.
You didn't want an ugly person on your bike.
I object.
You know, but I let him use it anyway. You know, I didn't want to hate on his game. You know, that's just not me.
He offered.
So he borrowed the bike to go riding with the lady. About 1 o'clock in the morning, I give him a call because he borrowed it at 8 o'clock. He called me about an hour later saying that the battery on the bike went dead and that he couldn't bring it to me. I was like, nuh-uh, bring my bike. You ain't got no keys. It doesn't have an alarm. You need to bring my bike. So he told me, I'm gonna put it in front of the house and then I'll bring it to you in the morning.
In front of his house?
In front of his house.
Okay.
In the morning, I get up, brush my teeth, I get a call, your bike been stolen. I'm saying to myself, I knew this was gonna happen. So I get down there, my mom and my wife follows me because they think I'm gonna do something bad and crazy.
Let me allow him to bring me up to speed. Go ahead, sir.
It's definitely true. We went to a gathering and I borrowed the bike, rode with a couple of friends. Went out, hung out a little bit at a bar.
Yeah, he said he hung out with a couple of friends. He said you hung out with an ugly woman.
No. Hung out with a couple of friends.
Huh?
And I called him up. I asked him, do you want me to bring the bike to your house or do you want me to take it to my house?
Not true.
And I live in a high crime rate area. I live in East Oakland and I was living off of 73rd at the time. So I told him the battery's dead. You know where I live at. So do you want to come over and jump this bike off and take it home? He replied to me, no, because where I live at, the neighbors complain about the pipes. I called him at about 8 o'clock and I asked, did he come and get the bike? And I thought he was playing a joke on me. He said, no, I didn't come get the bike. So I said, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, I didn't come get the bike. So at that time, I came to the conclusion that, okay, the bike was been stolen. And at that point, we were riding around trying to.
How long after discovering that the bike was missing did you call and make a police report?
I didn't call the police. I notified him.
At all?
No.
Why?
I just didn't call the police. I actually thought I had a lead on it, and I was going to actually take care of it myself.
Why didn't you give that lead to the police? What did you do with your lead?
The person that lived next door to me actually had a bike similar to the one that he had, and he wrecked the bike. So I kind of figured that maybe he had something to do with the situation. So
using the parts.
Correct. So I went straight to him to confront him about the situation, opposed to calling the police. I probably shouldn't have tried.
In East Oakland.
Right. Yeah. I was going to take the matters in my own hands because I was, really upset at the fact that this happened. And I know he worked so hard to put the bike together and all the things. So
what did the person say when you come over there talking crazy about
he was like, man, you know what? You need to go on with that. I live next door to you. I wouldn't do anything like that or respect you.
All right. What makes you think he should be liable? Let me tell you first that, and most people don't know this, that when you have borrowed something from an individual, the person who borrowed, if they're a victim of a third-party crime, they're not liable. It's like, for example, if you were to borrow your uncle's car to go to the prom, and on the way to the prom, a drunk driver hits you, you're doing absolutely nothing wrong. Well, the law says that you're not responsible. The person responsible is the drunk driver. In order to be responsible for something someone has loaned you, you have to have some measure of negligence. So you have to tell me how he was negligent in this instance, or unless he agreed to pay. That's the other. Go ahead.
Okay, he asked to borrow the bike, which I agreed to. He told me he was going to leave the bike in front of his house. When I got there, hearing all the stories from the neighbors, he left my bike leaning against my sister's car, who also stayed in the apartment building. Just left it leaning against it. It looked like it was stolen.
Sir, did you do that?
Yes, I did.
Is that in front of the house?
No, it was in the parking lot.
That's in front of the house. It was an apartment complex, and as you go to the actual apartment complex.
How many feet from the door?
Probably about 45 feet.
Was there any other place you could have parked it?
No.
Is that true?
No.
There's no other place he could have parked?
He could have parked it in front of his house. Like he said, he had a bike.
Anybody have pictures of the house in relation to where the...
Not to where
the gate,
it was at.
The gate in front of, this is an apartment complex, 12 units. So it's not like it's a big yard.
Yeah,
it's
but you can park it as close as possible to your apartment door.
That was the closest where it was.
Now, sir, in front of the garage. Oh,
no, that's not
just a
the
picture.
place. That's just a picture of the bike.
You don't have any pictures showing where he might have been parked?
Well, I know where he was, but no, I don't have any pictures.
Okay. How do you know he could have parked it closer?
I can draw out a sketch just real quick to show you where his apartment is staying, where he could have parked it, and where the parking lot is.
Here you go. Let him sketch. Do you have insurance, sir?
No, I don't. When you build a bike...
How much was the motorcycle worth?
Just the money that I put into it, I was with the labor and everything, I was about $18,000.
Didn't have insurance?
No.
All right. I don't know what this is. You?
I can explain it to you, but it didn't do it. When the arrow was coming in from the street, the square is the car and the X is the bike. There's a little a walkway, because the apartments are set up like townhouses. So he stayed in the third to the last. When he rides his bike, one? Yeah, he stayed in that one. When he rides his bike to my uncle's bike, he parks it in front of his place.
Those bikes are small.
He always parks there.
That's where he parks.
Where he lives.
Yes.
But in this case, he parked it down here.
Correct.
Is that true?
A smaller bike, but not a bike of his
No,
size.
sir. $5,000 for the plaintiff. I believe you're liable. I believe you were negligent. I believe you were negligent because you didn't park it where you usually park motorcycles. Don't tell me because it was 5 inches longer you couldn't park it there. Have a good day.